Welcome back to Cottage Designs by Erin, where as promised we are starting a new project today. I thought we would use an Aunt Martha embroidery transfer pattern to make a quilt block. So I took one of these embroidery transfer patterns years ago and I made this wall hanging of a teapot. The outside fabric was Waverly Interior Design fabric, which happened to match my kitchen curtains at the time. This wall hanging won first place at the DuQuoin State Fair in 2004 and third place at the Carmi Fair in 2005. So I no longer had the product or the Aunt Martha's pattern, so I bought what I thought was a replacement pattern, but the replacement pattern I purchased was actually considerably smaller and it has more detail on it. But I'm still going to go ahead and show you how to use it. So when you open up your Aunt Martha's, you will get a big sheet like this, and then you will cut around the design that you want. So I've done that, and I chose the teapot, which looks like this. I've already pressed my fabric. I'm going to move the camera to my hands now. So I cut a 12.5-inch square out using my new rotary cutter and mat. I'm pressing the fabric a little bit because it's a little wrinkly. Now the directions on these say to use either a cotton or wool setting. So I've got it on wool because I tried it on cotton and it didn't quite, this is very thick quilter's cotton, it didn't quite take. So I'm going to fold the fabric in fourths. My Singer iron is new. It is a Singer Steamcraft, I think is what it's called. It's on Amazon for $50. And it's specifically for crafters. It shuts off after 30 minutes instead of 3 to 8 minutes, which is the new standard for a lot of the steam on that thing. New irons. Okay, so now I'm going to open this up. The reason that we fold it in fourths is we're looking for the center where the fabric makes the cross. All right, so now we're going to put our design down, and you're not looking at this to make it straight. You're looking at the actual pattern. So the actual pattern has stitches right down the center, so that's what I'm looking at. So now I hope, let me move it over just a little bit. Now I hope it'll take this time because last time it didn't all transfer. You want to go very slow. You don't want to go back and forth and risk it moving. And you do want to press down kind of firm. This left side does not want to take. It's the same thing happened a minute ago. Okay, let's see if the magic happened. Okay, it did all of it. If you can see, the design transferred on everywhere except the flowers on the left side. So now I need to redo those. At least it got the spout really good this time because last time it didn't. Okay, so we're going to match it up, which is the hard part because you can't really see what you're doing. And now I'm going to try to get just the flowers on this side. And this iron gets exceptionally hot, so you make sure you don't get your fingers. Okay, it's good enough to where I can see it this time. All right, so now what you do is you hoop it up. You're going to put your bottom hoop underneath. And then put your top hoop on. I am going to use this black, 3 strands of black embroidery floss. And I'm going to start with a running stitch. Embroidery transfers work really well on muslin, but I didn't have any white muslin, and my kitchen is white. It has a lot of white in it, so that's why I went with quilting fabric instead. Okay, so we tied a little knot in the back to keep it from going through, and now we're just going to follow the lines. And you're probably thinking, why in the world are you using that big, enormous needle? Because earlier that was all I could find. And you know, I left my reading glasses at school, which is a problem. Because when I have my contacts in, I can't see. So I ended up having to put my regular glasses back on. I'm switching needles because that other needle's leaving too big of a hole in the fabric. Okay, so then you would just keep going over the pattern, and once it's all done, I usually go for a 2.5 or 3 inch border that I sew on. And then once that's done, you'll have like whatever size it is, about a 20-inch square. And then you cut whatever size it is. You cut your background fabric the same size and your batting, and quilt it as you see fit. I'm going to finish this row, and then I want to show you how to do a lazy daisy stitch. And really, that's all that's basically on here. Then once you have it finished, you wash it, and any design pattern that was showing that shouldn't be should wash out. I say should because I don't know that it will, but it's supposed to. Okay, so that's our first row of stitches on the teapot. I love teapots and teacups and saucers. It's so beautiful. All right, now I'm going to switch threads. will probably need that big needle for this because I don't have any crewel. Needles. Okay, so now I'm switching over to thicker embroidery floss, and I'm going to show you how to do the lazy daisies in the middle. So you're going to tie a little knot in the back. And then you're going to go through the same hole that you just started. And stab it at the bottom of the teardrop. Keep your needle inside the loop of your thread because that's what's going to catch it. And that is our first lazy daisy stitch. So let me do the one next to it. Keep your thumb in the loop. Stab the teardrop at the bottom. And then it'll pull. So that is our lazy daisy stitch. My video went off. I guess my internet went off. So in just a few minutes time, we have this much done, which is the center seam on the teapot and